Now hello everyone and welcome back to yet another video, and today we will be doing something different, kind of different but kind of same. It's basically a spin-off of Planes, Airlines Flew, which may surprise you, and we're going to call it Planes, Airlines Almost Flew, which may surprise you, which kind of refers to like planes that airlines ordered and then cancelled and just stuff like that. So like, subscribe and let's do this. The first plane we have today is the Delta Airlines Boeing 787-8. So basically back in the early 2000s, Northwest Airlines got super excited about Boeing's brand new Dreamliner, as you would be with a new plane. And then Delta came along and merged with Northwest and basically said, cool plane, but now we don't want it. The 787 just kept getting delayed, which honestly that kind of sounds like another Boeing plane that we aren't getting even before GTA 6. Fuel prices were all over the place and Delta just decided to order the A350 instead and keep their 767s because apparently new isn't always better. Anyway, moving on to the Qantas 747-8. Okay, so we have obviously the Qantas 747-200, the 747-400, but what about the Dash 8s? They looked at it and said, longer range, new engines, yeah, we'll have a think. And I think they did, until the Airbus A380 spawned, and they were like, aye mate, we got 2 decks and a spar mate. That's a great Australian accent, and the rest is history, to be honest. Qantas never ordered the 747-8 and they just went fully for the A380 instead, and Boeing quietly sighed. Honestly though, you can imagine that red-tailed whale of a 747 just landing at Sydney. It'll block half the runway. It's like the longest plane ever, although the 777X is supposed to be longer. Okay, and let's move on to our next plane of today, which is the American Airlines A350. American Airlines somewhat did have A350s on order. Basically they inherited them from US Airlines after they merged and stuff like that. AA basically looked at their fleet and went, wait, we already have Boeings for this, which would probably be the 777 and the 787. Do they fly the 787? Yeah, they do. Oh yeah, it just says, so they cancelled their A350s, ordered a bunch of 787s and kind of ghosted Airbus. And somewhere in Toulouse, some poor soul still has an A350 with a half-finished AA livery and a dusty PowerPoint slide. Poor guy. Okay, and let's move on to another plane, which is the Air France A380F. I love how my prompt here just says show an A380 cargo render and dramatic music. Anyway, Air France once planned to haul cargo on the world's biggest passenger jet, the A380 freighter. Yeah, because what every pilot wants is even less runway left after they land. But Airbus realised converting this giant into a freighter was like trying to make a cargo van out of a cruise ship. It would never work. The project was cancelled and Air France never got theirs. Probably for the best. Imagine loading pallets into that thing. You need a forklift with stairs. Right, let's move on to another 747 by Air Canada, the 747-8. For a few minutes, Air Canada considered buying a 747-8, but then someone actually decided to do the maths and went, why get bigger planes when we can just fly smaller ones more often and not go bankrupt, which, would be ideal. The 747-8 dream basically just died quicker than an ice cream left out on a hot July day. They went for 777s and 787s instead, and honestly, fair enough. I mean, I like the Air Canada livery on this 777-300. I don't know, have they ordered this 777X? That would look cool if they have. And yeah, that's basically it. They wanted to do it, but they did the math, and they were like, I don't want to go bankrupt, so they didn't buy it. Maniac. Anyway, let's move on to our last plane of today, which is the Japan Airlines Boeing 787-3. So a bit of background here. The 787-3 was supposed to be a domestic version of the Dreamliner, shorter range, higher capacity, basically a long haul plane that never left Japan. Boeing built it just for ANA and JAL, but after the delays, both airlines went, we'll just use the regular ones. So the 787-3 was quietly scrapped, not a single one built. So technically, Japan Airlines ordered a plane that didn't even exist. To be honest, that is peak efficiency. I'm not even going to lie here. All these airlines that operate with efficiency, I think they should just take a leaf out of Japan Airlines book, to be honest. Like, yeah, okay, it might not exist yet, but order it anyway, you know? Order the Concorde replacement, which I've forgotten its name, the Boom Overture or whatever. Order it. Order the planes that I got AI to come up with last couple of episodes ago, because why not? And yeah, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.